This was the document that is expected to usher in Nigeria as one of the world-leading economies and financial markets by the year 2020. This was the document put together under the administration of the immediate past Central Bank Governor Lamido Sanusi. Of course, this 102-page document outlined a 13-point consolidation agenda and what we expect to do over a 10-year period to give us year 2020 financial stability, make Nigeria the hub of financial markets in Africa, trying to build what South Africa was being able to build within the Southern African community. But this document might no longer be effective. In fact, may have been rendered useless. Over the past few days, we've heard from Nigeria's new central bank chief, Lamido Sanusi, that the banking sector is now being deconsolidated, if you want to use that terminology. But the Punch newspapers this morning tried to put together an editorial comment that sounds a very good note of warning to those who are in charge of the nation's affairs, the presidency, the National Assembly, and the Federal Ministry of Finance. The Punch newspaper says, well, they shouldn't stand aloof while the central bank, well, quote unquote, misuses its power of autonomy. Let's bring in the managing director of Financial Standard newspaper, Bola Onanuga, into the show. Good morning, Bola. Thanks for finding time to be here. I'm sure you've read this editorial of the Punch newspaper. How does it sound to you in summary about where we were coming from in terms of the various U-turns in banking sector, financial system, policy engineering, and this note of danger and warnings that the Punch newspaper just brought out this Monday?
Well, I'm not here to promote Punch, but the editorial is good. And the Punch is speaking the mind of some of us who are observers and watchdog of the system. Of course, a situation whereby the CBN Act provides for an autonomy, and it is not in itself a separation of power. But the National Assembly, the Presidency, the Ministry of Finance, they were all watching for all the gains of consolidation to be wiped off overnight. Then it shows that the stakeholders in the industry are also not performing their functions to the system. One, the National Assembly has a role. Two, the Presidency through the Ministry of Finance has a role. Three, the journalists have a role, which they also have shielded away from, except for very few of us who speak against some of these policies, which most times they don't listen to. And you also realize that there are other, CIBN also has a responsibility, but they have not been, either because of fear or because of the credibility question surrounding them, they have failed to live up to their own responsibility. And this U-turn you are having is just a shift in goalpost. Somebody came, did not like the face of some practitioners, and therefore decided to do a policy shift in order to wound certain operators.
Let's spend some time first to look at the Punch. The editorial comment says that neither the Central Bank Governor Sanusi nor his Director of Banking Supervision has offered convincing argument that categorization of banks on its own will strengthen the banking system. Do you agree with that point? That just categorizing banks will not necessarily prevent distress?
Mere name does not make a man successful. The fact that you are named Bosin or somebody is named Bola does not make you a successful man. The different baptismal name that the man is bringing were already existing in Nigeria in the last 10 years. The consolidation has a purpose. You have just brought out the financial system strategic focus for 15 years. It's not even for 10 years. It was supposed to be for 2020. It came out at the end of consolidation in 2005. And it was made available early 2006. It's unfortunate that after using consultants, spending taxpayer money to put together what I consider to be one of the best books for the financial system, somebody is coming today to come and jettison it. And it's now telling us that he wants to. What are you categorizing? The system already categorized itself. We have insurance player, we have mortgage sector player, we have a development bank,